Okay, let's go ahead and do assignment number 2, and that is using the modify commands. What we'll do is work with these objects that we created in the last exercise. So if you'd like to open up your last exercise and go from there, you can do that. So let's start by taking the larger rectangle of the two, and we're going to rotate that. So click rotate. Select the object, hit enter. Now remember, you want to have your object snaps on, which is right over here with the box with the additional box. And we'll start at the geometric center of the rectangle and click. And now if you see that you can turn at any angle you want, let's turn on ortho, which is the perpendicular right angle. And we are going to switch the orientation of the rectangle. So can you kind of see that on the screen with the, it was a little bit more vertical, and we'll make it a little bit more horizontal. Click to select, and then we'll take the second rectangle and move it to the center of the larger rectangle. So move, select object. It's the only one we're moving, so hit enter. Again, geometric center, and we will go to the geometric center of the other rectangle. While we're here on this rectangle, we're going to use the offset command, and we'll offset the inside smaller rectangle about 6 inches. So we'll type in 6 for 6 inches, select the object, and click to the outside. You're going to need to hit enter to complete the offset command, otherwise it will continue to offset until you hit enter. Okay, our next object, we will move the larger donut to the largest circle. So when you select the large donut, again with our object snaps on, you want to go to the center of the donut and put the center of the donut at the center of the larger circle. The next one we'll do is to move the smaller donut from the center to the center, whoops, of the largest of the small circles, so second in size. Try that again, I made a mistake, so click move, select the object, and sometimes zooming in will help get your object snaps just right. So select the center, and then select the center again, and you have a second moved object. So let's go ahead and go on from there. We have what will be a patio with a fountain in the center, and we have the beginnings of a tree. So from our tree location, let's go ahead and add a little bit of detail to this tree. The way that we'll do that is by drawing a circle. Now your quadrant would be on if you see the diamond when you click towards the top of the circle. That circle we will make 4 inches. Now use the trim command. If you don't see it, it's under the extend one. And select the circles and hit enter. And then select the inside of the circle. Now let's take this, and we're going to array this circle all the way around and give us the appearance of a tree. To do that, we'll use polar array. Click on polar array. This is the object that we want to array. only that small arc. Hit enter once you have the small arc selected. And the center point of the array will be the center of the circle, which is also the center of the donut. Click to select that. Now we'd like to have a lot of these circles, so instead of 6, let's try 40. That's a little better. I think I want to do a few more. Let's try 50. And that looks pretty good to me. So let's go ahead and close our array, and we will be done with that command. Now we're forming a few more shrubs here. From the center of our larger shrub, I'm just going to draw a couple of lines. So going back to our lines, and using the object snap, go to the center of the donut. And let's use a new command over here, or drawing setting, called Polar. Polar gives us different angles that we can work with when drawn from a direction. So this is a helpful command. If you click on the arrow that's pointed downward, you can choose how many angles you'd like to work with and the degrees between them. So 15 tends to be a good one. You can do 15, 30, 45, 60, and then all the way around the 360 degrees. So I'm going to draw a line at 15 and draw it slightly beyond the edge of the circle and hit enter. Let's draw a couple more of these lines. This one's at 45, again extending slightly beyond the circle. And go ahead and draw a few more, always extending from the bottom and picking a polar line. These are somewhat arbitrary, so when we're drawing with landscapes, we want to try to mimic organic form when possible. And this gives us the opportunity to try to imitate organic form when using a program that's really not inclined to do so. So let's see what we get here and see if we can get something kind of interesting. Okay, so there's a few lines coming out of the center, and that will give us some branches to our shrub. So I'd like to see at least 8 branches. I did 10 here, so go ahead and use your best judgment to create that object. Let's go ahead and draw a little bit more. And we'll take this circle that's second largest in size, or third largest, second smallest, and I'm going to draw a rectangle at the center of that. So we have rectangle. Now our first point will be the center of this object, the circle. And let's make our rectangle about a 6-inch square. So we'll do at 6, comma, 6, and hit enter. Then we'll take this object and move it from the geometric center to the center of the circle. That gives us a second symbol that will function for shrubs. Our final small circle, go ahead and replace that with some lines that go all the way through the center. And if you have your quadrant selected on your object snaps, this should go rather quickly. Let's draw some lines all the way through this circle. Click and click. Now going from the center, let's go out and draw 2 more lines. So if you have your polar still on, and your snap's still on, this should go fairly easily. You want to draw 2 in each of the lower quadrants. Now, at this point, you can select to mirror these objects, or you can extend them. Let's go on up and try extend. Select the outside object, hit enter, and then extend the final lines all the way to the edge of the shrub canopy. So now we have some objects to start working with, and we'll move along to the next lecture and start changing up some of their layers.